Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of YEG Pivots. I am your host, Ingrid Schiffer, and am I ever excited for the show that we have planned for you today. Great guests and great content as we strive to deliver every week. So today, June 11th, 2020, I can't believe this is our 6th episode already. Quite exciting. Just a reminder that if you're watching, please share the show with your friends, share it on your timeline. The more exposure we can get for our guests, the better. Our intent being to support local and really create camaraderie amongst our business community, especially during these interesting times. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome in our first guest who has an amazing and very innovative business. Vinson Luong, come on in. I'll bring you in now. Hello, Vinson. How are you? Can you hear me?
Hey, how's it going? Yes.
Awesome. I think we're just waiting for your mic to connect.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. All good. Note to self, maybe we should do a mic
How about
check.
now?
I'm going to add that to the list to do. It's all good, Vincent.
Awesome.
All good. It might just be the mic on your headphones, maybe.
Is it now?
Yeah, I can't hear you. It's all good. All good.
How about now?
Now, for the folks watching, you'll want to stick around because Vincent's business is very, very interesting.
Hello?
Now, it's interesting that I can't hear you. Why? There we go.
Okay, does it work?
Yeah, it works. Yay.
Awesome. Nice, nice.
It's kind of our tradition. We always have like a little hiccup and then we and we make it work. So it's all good. But
Awesome.
thank you so much for joining us. Very excited to chat about your business, and that's Food Search Inc. For those that don't know, can you give us an overview of what you guys do?
So originally Food Search Inc. was supposed to be a database of food where you can find food much easier. We started in January, and then when March hit coronavirus, it's like, oh no, what do we do now? We have to pivot, obviously. So then we made this giant directory instead of just like individual food, where we made a giant directory of places that are doing takeout and delivery. Because a lot of people were asking, it's like, oh, where do I find delivery and takeout? Like it was like all a mess. And we were on like Facebook groups and all that stuff, and everyone wanted one. So then we made it, posted it up, and everyone's been sharing and using it. So.
That's amazing. So it totally was developed in response to a need that emerged suddenly.
Mhm.
And you've managed to kind of deliver, no pun intended, but above and beyond what people were looking for. And so now it's essentially like an online menu of sorts, right? Is that?
Yeah, it's just pretty much a giant directory where you can click social medias of a restaurant, find them, their menus are on there. It's all linked to them. And then one thing we're expanding is like actually doing it on a very dish by dish level. So say if you were to look for something very specific, we're working with a few restaurants to just like give us a menu, put it in the database, then you can search like say very specific stuff like say ham and pineapple pizza, right? It's
Peach
like
shrimp.
yeah, yeah, awesome. And then you'll be able to find which exactly restaurants in the city will have that item, right?
That's fantastic. Now tell me, does it itemize whether a restaurant will deliver or has pickup options? Is that information in there as well? Or is it just like a portal where it just kind of seamlessly connects the browser, the user, to their desired dish or restaurant? Or is it
Hmm.
both?
Yeah, for the initially, yes, it's just a directory where it'll link right to their website, and then they can order directly from the restaurant. But we're developing it a lot and trying to figure out like what is the best way to connect customers with food, right? Because once you have a craving, you already know like, oh, where do I get it? But then we'll always link back to the restaurant because like yeah, a lot of restaurants are kind of really struggling right now, and being able to direct them to them and just give them traffic is like be so useful for them, right?
Absolutely. This is huge for those that don't know kind of the mechanics behind internet search. What Vinson and his team have managed to accomplish is basically a backlink that's going to really help restaurants that maybe aren't ranked as high when people are searching. So if someone's searching for steak and
Mhm.
this little unknown restaurant comes up on page 20, you've probably found an option way before we hit page 20 of a Google search. So I wanted to articulate that, Vincent, because I think what you're doing for the restaurant community, the food restaurant owners
Industry,
is,
yeah.
is tremendous. So thank you for that. So now tell me a little bit about, well, before we continue, how many listings have you got on your directory now?
I think there's 580.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's tremendous.
yeah. It spans to, we have some Calgary because we tried going that market, but then it's been pretty difficult because they kind of have a map already. But we hit Shore Park, St. Albert, Edmonton, some in Spruce Grove, some in Fort Mac. So
Wow.
yeah,
So
pretty
what is the
interesting.
goal here? Are you wanting to get every restaurant in Alberta, in Canada? Like what's
Um,
your big hairy
so
goal?
Yeah, so this kind of goes back to our goal in January before the pivot was how do you make a giant database of food where say you have certain allergies, like say if you're gluten tolerant, you have lactose allergies or you have nut-free allergies. How do you find restaurants in the city or even specific food dishes where you can find the exact items that you want, that you crave, right? Because right now
Mhm.
you can do a Google search, but then you have so many allergies, you're not going to bother going through and scrolling through a menu, right?
Yes.
So if we work closely with the restaurants and then we get those menus and then we can just provide this giant database of food where say you can get like gluten-free pizza or cheese or whatnot that's you don't even know existed. Just one Google search, like one search on a site will show you all the places that have it, right?
That's awesome. That's like
That's
a
the vision.
that's
Yeah,
an intuitive index that's
yeah.
going to just revolutionize, I think, how people shop or choose where they're going to eat. I know for myself, I have a very unheard of sensitivity to onions.
Oh
And let
yeah.
me tell you, I don't want to be a Karen when I go to a restaurant,
Yeah.
and go, oh, do you have anything without onions? Like, yeah, here's popcorn. Have a nice
Yeah.
day. So it would, how much, more enhanced will my experience be when I can go through using food search and then just kind of know exactly what
Hmm.
I'm what's available to me through
Yeah.
those filters. So I think that's incredible, Vincent.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now,
Yeah.
in terms of you know how everything kind of changed with COVID. I know you mentioned that pivot. So what can our community do to help support food search? And like, is it community kind of curated? Are people adding listings to your index? Is there a submission form we want to direct people to if they're not on it already? How can we help?
Hmm. Yeah, if you actually go on our site, foodsearchinc.com, and you want to submit a place that isn't on there, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's like a submit a place button. So there's a form there already.
That's
And a
awesome.
lot of people, yeah, a lot of people have been helping out. Like when we first started, everyone just kept submitting, and then we add it. And then it's super easy for us to do. And it's a super easy way to know that places did pick up your delivery. And a
Mhm.
lot of places are reopening now too. So that would also be a good thing to add, and say your favorite restaurant is open for dining, just send us a like that form and then say, oh, they're open now. And then we actually contact the restaurant directly to confirm. And then yeah, because like we need the obvious like the truth from them too, right? And then we
Yeah.
really build that connection, and then just putting it on there. Just trying to keep the data accurate is difficult because it is just me and one guy managing it.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, just me and a co-founder.
That's a really, really
Yeah,
tight team. My goodness.
yeah,
Wow. Good for
yeah.
you guys. And
Hmm.
500 listings so far, like
Oh yeah. A
incredible.
lot of help from the community for submitting, right? Because if I
Yeah.
were to find every single one, it would take me like 5 minutes per listing to go and talk and email. But then everyone's submitting it and then knowing which places are. It's a crowdsourcing, so that worked out. And yeah, it was a pretty fun project. And what we're really trying to do expand now is work on like contactless options. So say if you walk into a restaurant for dine-in, because a lot of places are dining, you don't want to touch dirty menus, or a lot of the menus are being updated too. So being able to have a contactless option using a QR code, which you can scan on your phone and see on your see the whole menu on your phone without dishes, then you can just order without touching any other menus, right?
Wow.
So that's one way that we're also getting using that, making a giant database of menu items. And it helps out because we have a few restaurants on board already. I can't really say the names yet, but yeah, we're releasing it soon. There's like one or two restaurants in the city that have that QR code that's connected to Foods Shrink already.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's super interesting, and especially because we're testing. We just released that like last 2 weeks, right?
I mean, that's
Yeah.
tremendously innovative. And I think it's something that we're likely not going to see go away. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I think you nailed it when you said, dirty menus, and no slight to any restaurant. But you're always going to get that.
Yeah.
It's a challenge for them.
Yeah.
There's so much going on. So I think
Mhm.
I think that's a very innovative solution to solve multiple problems for restaurateurs. So
Mhm.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So now, is this an app yet?
Um, we have to make it so it's super streamlined and simple for customers to use, because no customer is going to go in a restaurant, download an app just to see a menu, right?
Right.
So the way a lot of phones work right now, the newer models, like the newer iPhones and Apple products, you can just open the camera, just put your camera over it, and they'll just show you the QR, over the QR code, and it'll just show you the link to it. So that makes it super streamlined. And a lot of people already have QR code reader apps on their phone as well. So all
Hmm.
they have to do is just pop it open, put the phone over the code, and it'll just provide you a link, and that link will just go right to the menu. There's zero apps, zero user accounts, nothing else involved, right?
Awesome. And we're saving trees, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Saving some trees. We're keeping
Oh,
it safe. And Vincent, I don't know, but I'll be the first to say it. I think you might have just saved the QR code, man, because
yeah,
I
it
think
was
there was a lot
dying.
of people that thought the QR code was going the way of the dodo bird, and
Mhm.
here's a way that we can revive that functionality on our phone. I know
Hmm.
I for one was not really using the QR code much
Yeah.
after BlackBerry just did away with BBM, but that's another conversation for another episode.
Yeah. PBM was great.
Oh my goodness. I'm so happy there's someone else that remembers BBM.
Yeah. I
I love
think everybody does. Everybody remembers BBM.
it was the first messenger system. And I feel like, as Canadians, we need to give Research in Motion some credit for their innovation. I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
took some of those first steps, but again, I'm totally digressing. Sorry, I'm a bit of a wireless tech nerd
Yeah,
and
same.
certainly a BlackBerry fan. And I'll show you, this is going to be extremely meta. I'm watching our show.
Oh, nice. I thought you were gonna. Wow, that's amazing.
But this
Awesome.
way I can see our audience comments without having to switch too much on the
Yes.
windows. So I'm just going to check actually, and nothing that I can see yet, but I would like to remind our audience that this is an interactive show. So if you have some comments for Vinson or any other of our guests, please. Oh, here we go.
Oh, nice.
You look so good, Ingrid. Thank you. How about something for Vincent, guys?
Oh,
Um, and we can hear. Okay, good, good. Everyone could hear us. Okay, I'm just catching up on the comments here. But so, folks, if you're just joining us, if you have a restaurant, you must go to foodsearchinc.com, Vincent?
yes.
Okay, foodsearchinc.com. And what Vincent has done is all the heavy lifting. He's indexing restaurants for you, for your customers to easily browse by food sensitivities, allergies, and preference, right? Like, I mean, it's basically, can you go
Not
by,
yet. We haven't
not
put that
yet?
in yet. Yeah.
I'm putting you on the spot here, Vincent.
Soon,
We need
soon.
to be
That's
fast
fine.
paced,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I think that's where it's going, right? I mean,
Yes.
you're basically intuitively providing a tool for people to enjoy restaurants once again, kind of taking into account that health and safety that we're all keeping top of mind. That contactless menu, I think, is going to really take off. And frankly, I'm quite proud of you. That is awesome that this is
Oh,
starting
thank
in
you.
Edmonton. I think it's incredible that so the other thing is we have viewers from all over the place. I'm always surprised when I look back to see where our viewers are coming from. So if you are anywhere in Alberta and you know of a restaurant, make sure that you submit it on foodsearchinc.com, and let's get that directory as comprehensive as possible for the restaurateurs, for those local restaurants. You know, further to what you're seeing here and about supporting local and restaurants. I think we all heard in the news that a certain chain of coffee shops, not sure if I'm allowed to
Yeah.
mention it.
Hey, I
Similar to
mentioned
my,
Apple and Samsung.
that's true. Okay, so
Yeah.
Starbucks,
Oh,
Starbucks is
yeah.
is closing 200 locations, and I saw a tweet today that that was actually kind of uplifting, and it was a list of local coffee shops, and I think that's what we all need to remember is, you know, we've kind of over the years perhaps become lazy on our discernment, and this is a chance for us to apply that discernment to shopping local and supporting those business owners in our community. And what Vincent is doing is creating a conduit to make it super easy, you guys. So not only to shop for food, but to submit a request and make sure those restaurants are up. So, and you were saying Fort McMurray, Calgary, Edmonton, Grand Prairie, possibly.
Yeah, we have some in there. We have like 15,
Right?
20.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So okay, now are you on social, Vincent? Can we connect with Food Search Inc. on social and kind of keep, like, do you do announcements when, hey, we've added like 10 new restaurants in XYZ?
Yeah, we actually don't announce that like a lot of restaurants because when we first started, it was like we're getting like a lot at once.
Yeah.
But we do have Facebook and Instagram, which is Food Search Inc.
Okay.
So yeah, you can follow those. And yeah, I'm kind of releasing a blog too. So like with restaurants and interviewing restaurants and saying, oh, how are you guys doing during the pandemic? What are you guys doing to improve? And so we have one lined up coming up soon, just a written blog. So it'll be fun to do.
That's
My first
awesome.
blog. Yeah.
Right on. I'm going to warn you, it's quite addictive once you
Oh
start
yeah.
blogging, vlogging, shot calling, all of it. It just, and so the blog will be on Instagram then, Vincent?
We're putting it on info.foodsearchinc.com. So there's that.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. All right. So everyone, make sure you check that out. We do have someone just popped on. Okay, so just to recap, so what Vincent does is he has a directory called Food Search Inc. My apologies, Vincent. Food Search
All
Inc.
good.
The blog is at info.foodsearchinc.com. And he is indexing restaurants by preference, food, allergies, whatever, so that people can shop for dishes specifically. And then moreover, you have the contactless menu that you're going to be working with restaurants to roll out. We have someone ask if it's an app. At this time, it's not an app, but the website has been developed to render quite well on a phone. So mobile users are totally top of mind when you've been designing this. Am I right, Vincent?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. Great question.
As long as it's easy. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. Okay, well, now before we move on to our next guest, and if I haven't already, thank you so much for making the time because, again, for those just joining, it's Vinson and his co-founder, and they are doing this work tirelessly and to the benefit of all, local restaurant owners. And I say local, but throughout the communities in Alberta. So thank you again for your time. Before we move on to the next guest, what kind of advice would you like to give for entrepreneurs or anyone that has an idea that maybe they're on the fence about launching because, these are interesting times, nothing is certain. What kind of guidance can you provide even through the lens of your own experience?
Yeah. Yeah, if you're on the fence of something, just do it. Like, just ask a few people to test it out, try it out, and fail often and fail fast. Because that's the only way you're going to learn. If you're on the fence and you're like, oh, should I do this or not? You're just going to sit on it and not do it. Whereas if you do it, you get that feedback. And then that's how you learn, move on, right? So for us, it's like we're just trial and error. And this is kind of the best time to be an entrepreneur because there's a lot of problems. There's way more problems than before this situation. So all these problems that you can be solving and then getting really good feedback because everyone needs help right now, especially the local community and our local businesses. So, yep. If you have an idea, just go try it out. Don't be scared.
Fail fast, fail often, fail forward. I love those words. Put that on a shirt, Vincent. Sell it on your website. We're going to go buy it. I love it.
Absolutely. Awesome.
But you know what? Very inspiring. I think that it takes definitely a lot of gumption to move forward on an idea in these times. I appreciate the encouragement to those, but I also want to make sure that you get some accolades for being able to kind of mobilize this idea. Again, no pun intended. I can't help myself. I'm punning.
Do it. It's awesome. We need more. more.
Mobilize. But yeah, thank you. I on behalf of restaurant owners, which by the way, we're going to have one on our show today. So that's going to be exciting. But I think what you're doing is beyond innovative, and it's also giving back to a part of the community that I think was hit very hard. And so thank you for what you're doing. And again, that's foodsearchinc.com. Guys, everyone go there and bookmark it so that when you want to order in, you're using Vinson's website. That's the only way we should be doing it from now on. Sorry, Yelp. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. Yeah. So awesome. Thanks again, Vincent. I'm going to bring in our next guest. I'll have you hang out. We're going to do a little group chat at the end. So please don't leave, but I am going to kick you out kind of.
Okay. No.
Let me just get onto my little control here. All right. And so next up we have Mr. Alex Hindle. Super exciting, very on season. Alex, come on in. Come on in, Alex. Alex is on a call. Please stand by. Wow, this guy is like super important. I love it. Or are you calling me? No, we're on hold.
Hello.
I love it. You're so busy. You're like taking calls in the show. That is amazing. Alex, welcome. How are you?
Hi, I'm quite well. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Alex Hindle is with Bike Edmonton. And boy, do you have some exciting news for us and all Edmontonians. I'm very thrilled to have you on today. I was just saying, while we were waiting to connect there, that it's very timely and very on season to have you on the show. So tell us a little bit more about Bike Edmonton for those that aren't familiar with it.
Well, Bike Edmonton is a local registered nonprofit group, and we do a lot of different things to encourage people to cycle. One of the most important in my mind is that we operate 2 community bike workshops, and one of those just moved from a location on 111th Avenue to its current location, and that's Bike Edmonton downtown. And so the address of that location, the one that I manage, is 10612 105th Ave, just across from McEwen. And nice. So, yeah.
Excellent. And so what does Bike Edmonton encompass in terms of, what is it? just e-bikes or all bikes? Is it programs?
Yeah.
You know, tell us a little bit more about you know, the initiatives that Bike Edmonton is involved in.
Well, they're quite wide-ranging. Like I say, I'm more involved in the end of the running of one of the community workshops. And the idea there is that people can bring their bikes in and use our facility and our tools and get help from our volunteers and repair their own bike. Now, this is what we ordinarily do under normal circumstances. Right now, things are a little bit different, but essentially it's a sort of do-it-yourself community bike workshop. But beyond that, Bike Edmonton, we also do a lot of education. So mechanical repair classes, how to cycle effectively and safely in traffic, many other types of classes. We do advocacy, so encouraging City Hall to invest wisely in bike infrastructure to try and get more people cycling. We do a lot of work to try and show people how cycling is a really great way to get around the city, not just in the summer, but all year round if you want it to be. And we've been around since 1980, so this is actually our 40th anniversary. So we've been around quite a while. We used to be called the Edmonton Bicycle Commuter Society, and we did change our name recently to Bike Edmonton. So some of you may know us as EBC, or the Edmonton Bike Commuter Society.
And why the name change?
We wanted something that was a little bit less niche. We felt that calling it Edmonton Bicycle Commuters Society maybe excluded a large group of people that loved biking but didn't necessarily identify with the term commuter. Bike Edmonton is just a little bit clearer, we found.
And so now when it comes to cycling, the first of all, I'm totally signing up for a workshop because all I know how to do is put my chain back on and that's it. Like I can't even put air in my tire. I'm always afraid those tires are going to explode. And I actually had one explode and then I was like, hey, fears confirmed. I will never do this again. So I will be at a workshop. I think that's very important to know how to maintain, you know, because they are an investment. And but what I was curious to know is when it comes to, you know, bicycles and right now we're seeing a lot of investment in infrastructure. How is this impacting your organization? Because I mean, do you kind of help people winterize their bikes? Is there, you know, do you take them on tours to show them just how, you know, intricate the existing system that's been laid out is? Tell us a little bit more about what that might look like.
Yeah, so we've been around a long time, like I said, and you know we've seen cycling go kind of up and down, but definitely in the last few years, it's become something that more and more people are recognizing as a serious, effective way of not just having fun and exercise, but actually getting around, doing the groceries, getting to work, going out to meet friends. And yeah, we're very happy with the fact that the city's invested what amounts to a relatively small amount of money, really, in the big scheme of things, to put in some high quality bike infrastructure. Definitely, we have been seeing an increase in interest in cycling over the last few years. It's definitely become more and more common. And of course, right now, it's especially in demand due to the COVID situation. There's a lot of people getting out and enjoying cycling, maybe people who haven't done it in a little while. So that's a bit of a silver lining in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, okay, now in terms of, you know, so you did the brand change to kind of encompass all bikes, cycling, you know, not to be specific to commuters. Is there a component that embraces the River Valley Trail system, which is, to my knowledge, over 100 kilometers of just beautiful trails, paved, single track? I mean, is it just kind of urban bikes, or is there kind of this little rugged trail component to it?
In terms of our organization's mandate,
Yeah.
well, we don't really have a specific demographic in mind. We really want to support everybody that's interested in cycling, you know, and if that's somebody that wants to enjoy a nice summer evening riding in the River Valley, you know, we want to help them do that. If it's somebody that wants to ride to and from work in all weather, you know, throughout the entire year, we want to help them as well. And we do, I think, a fairly good job of offering quite a lot of different, varied, diverse programming to meet those needs. You mentioned sort of winter cycling. Yeah, we have offered a number of winter cycling courses for many years, from how to ride safely in winter to how to stud your own tires. We've also offered, and hopefully will again in the near future, CAN bike effective riding courses, how to ride in traffic. But yeah, no, I mean, essentially, if you want to get biking, there's probably a way that we can help you do that, because we really do think that the majority of people benefit from cycling to some degree in their lives.
Absolutely. And I think it's wonderful that you guys are doing this as a not-for-profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're a registered not-for-profit. So this is something that you're definitely giving back to the community. You've been doing it for decades. And now more than ever, people are starting to have a little bit more awareness in terms of their health and, you know, kind of fighting that stagnancy that comes with working at home, and having that a little bit more flexibility on their schedule. So with those changes in place, Alex, have you seen an uptick in involvement? And if not, after the show, you will. But tell me more about, like, you know, is there an upcoming workshop? How can viewers get involved in terms of, like, you know, immediate gratification? Like, is there something they can go to next week? Or tell me.
Well, so the answer isn't terribly exciting, I'm afraid. We've seen a great demand for bicycles and bike repair, which is in a sense very good. But unfortunately, because we need to be careful as to how many people we allow in our shops, and because our normal programming involves a lot of sharing of tools and equipment, we've had to really change the way that we operate at this point in time. So even though there is more demand than ever, and we really want to help people access the resources they need to bike, we have had to modify the programs basically that we're offering at this point. And so right now, rather than having sort of open do-it-yourself repair hours, we're offering repair services and online shopping and things like that. So if you're interested, if you have a bike and it's not working properly, rather than you come to us, fix it yourself with our guidance, we're basically saying that you can come in, we'll repair it while you wait. And so it's a little bit different because we've never done that before, but that's kind of the way we've had to go for the time being. If in terms of, you know, workshops and programming and education and things like that, we definitely hope to be offering those at some point this summer. Right now, that we are not currently offering any classes or any mechanical classes, just because it's a little bit tricky and it's something that we are still in the process of figuring out how to do. But any information about what we're currently offering and what we're going to be offering in the near future, all of that can be seen on our website, bikeedmonton.ca. And if you have a specific question you'd like to ask, please email us at info@bikeedmonton.ca, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible, usually within 24 hours.
That's incredible. Considering this is a not-for-profit, you guys have a 24-hour response time.
Well, please be patient if it takes a little bit longer, but we try and get back to you as quickly as we can.
That's still very commendable, Alex. And I think the fact that you guys have had to overcome, you know, the very, you know, with your workshops, with showing people how to repair their own bikes, and then you pivoted to doing the repairs for people. That's quite generous and also commendable. And I think that's great, because how many people are prevented from enjoying the season because they've got a bike in the garage that just needs a new pedal, or the brakes are a little wonky, and you know, I'm just going off my own bike, but I think that what you guys are doing is great. There's so much stigma around using a bicycle to commute, and I think that education piece that you're offering can really reduce, you know, that preconceived notion that it's a hassle if people know how to fix their own bike, if people understand kind of how simple it would be to kind of incorporate that into their lifestyle. And so good on you.
Well, thank you.
So now, what other ways can we support your organization in terms of the community, people watching? I'm sure you have, you know, your hands full with repairing bikes, but what can people do to help out the organization besides, you know, using the organization? How can we support you?
So ordinarily, we are a not volunteer-run totally. We do have paid staff, but we rely very heavily on volunteer help to be able to offer the services that we do. We wouldn't be able to do it without volunteers. Unfortunately, again, at the moment, we're a little bit limited in the number of volunteers we can use, but we will return to normal as quickly as we can. And so we are looking always for people who are interested in volunteering. And again, if that's something you'd like to do, and let me say right now very clearly that you do not need any experience as a bicycle mechanic. That's the kind of thing that we can teach you, or if you'd rather do something else, there's a lot of other supportive roles that you can play. But if you're interested, do send us an email at info@bikeedmonton.ca, and we'll let you know how you can hopefully get involved in the near future. So that's certainly something for people to consider if they want to help out. We, of course, we are a nonprofit. Like I said, we're happy to accept donations, and you can make those through our website, bikeedmonton.ca. We tried to, and I think succeeded in creating a very nice, airy, friendly, pleasant feeling workshop and on the North Edge that we just opened, and it's something that we spent a fair amount of resources building. So definitely, if people feel that it's of value to their community and they want to support us, making a donation will be very appreciated. Word of mouth is very important. If people want to, share with their friends, if they're watching this, maybe something you could mention to your friends. Hey, there's this great organization, Bike Edmonton, and they just opened up in the neighborhood. And, if you need something, a bike part, something like that, instead of buying it on Amazon or somewhere else farther afield, you can, like I said, it has to be done through our website at this point, but you can buy it for us, that kind of thing. So there's many ways.
You guys have refurbished bikes too?
So we sell new and used parts, and the new parts are all available to view and purchase online at our website, which I keep saying, bikeedmonton.ca.
Yes, no, you plug away, sir. You plug away. That's the whole point of this. We want to get you the exposure. And I'm sorry I got so excited, but I'm like, what? Okay, tell me more. So
and then used parts, we also sell used parts. And so we're a very good resource if you're looking for parts for an older bike. We often are one of the few places around town that you'll be able to find those. Now, we don't have a comprehensive inventory of them, so you will have to send us an email and explain what it is you're looking for. But if you do that, we will get back to you and let you know that we have it, or if we don't have it, that we don't have it. So
I'm going to sorry, carry on. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say the other thing that we do is we sell refurbished bicycles, and we are not, unfortunately, we're not selling those out of the downtown shop at present. We're selling all of those out of our South Side store just to make sure we have good selection. But if you're interested in buying a used bike, you can see those once again at bikeedmonton.ca. You can see the selection we have, which changes quite frequently. And you can make an appointment to test ride one and if you like it, hopefully purchase it. So yeah, right now we're offering repairs, part sales, and refurbished used bicycle sales through our website.
I got to share why I'm so excited.
Sure.
So one thing that I've noticed throughout this interesting year that we've been having is people being more and more innovative and a little bit more daring on doing things themselves that ordinarily we might have just gone and bought. Now it's a little bit more like, well, I have the time, I can, save a little bit and give it a try. And so what I'm hearing is for all those people, I'm just thinking there's bikes on Kijiji that are affordable and they might just need a new part. Well, now Bike Edmonton, you're essentially bridging that gap. And I don't know if you're aware, but you're creating you're making it completely possible for people that might not have the budget to invest in a new bike to go out there and get one that you can make rideable. I mean, within reason. I'm not making any guarantees on your behalf. Someone shows up with, this rusty bike, but I mean, that's incredible because you're making biking accessible to the everyday citizen. And I think that's awesome. That's awesome. That's what we need, because I think maybe the stigma is that not enough of us are using the infrastructure that our city has invested in. And, to be part of that solution, we all need to get out there and bike. We need to use them. Once we're using them, it's not, such a point of contention if everyone can just partake in the value, but you need a bike. You need a bike to do that. And so Bike Edmonton is, bridging that gap by, offering the repairs. I'm sure they're quite nominal, for the service, but I think that's awesome. Like I'm just thinking of
Thank
all
you.
the people I've come across that would probably pick up a $60 bike, you know, that needs a pedal or whatever. And then now it's not about YouTube videos. It's go to Bike Edmonton and let them, you know, make it rideable for you. And that's awesome. That's anyway, sorry, I get really excited when
No,
I get so
absolutely.
promoted, but
I'm glad to see you're excited. And I mean, yeah, in terms of the, you know, the bike infrastructure you mentioned, one of the interesting things that I've observed since we opened the shop on 105th Avenue is that particular bike path, the one on 105th Avenue, it's it's very well used, not just by cyclists, but by joggers, walkers, all sorts of people, because the sidewalk continuity in that area is not quite great as of yet. So it really is an interesting kind of multi-use trail almost. And then in terms of, yeah, buying bikes used elsewhere, absolutely, you can buy a bike hopefully for a good price, say on Kijiji, and bring it to us, and we'll try our best to help you, you know, get it working safely and become something that you love. You know, do be careful if you're buying bikes online. There's some great deals out there. There's also some people that are taking advantage of the situation now to sell bikes for higher prices than they're worth. So do your research as best you can.
so Alex, sorry, but you got me thinking. So would it be something that you would have people maybe shoot you an email and go, "Hey, Alex, I want to buy this bike. You know, does it look like it's a ripoff or a good deal, or is a new shock something that's affordable, or should I just get a new bike?" Like, would you weigh in on that? Is that something that people could, you know, check in with you guys on?
People are always welcome to send us emails.
Okay.
We you know, we will prioritize certain types of emails over others, and if it's somebody just asking our opinion on a bike that they want to buy, that might not be something we'd respond to as quickly, but certainly we'll try and get back to everybody. Do bear in mind, if anybody's sending us an email about anything bike related or bike part related, it always makes it much easier to answer effectively if they send a photograph or at least very detailed information. We do get a lot of emails asking our opinion on things, or asking if we have something in stock without enough information for us to really answer effectively. So yeah,
Fair enough. So no emails that are like, it's missing a widget and here's a picture of a rusty spoke and what do you think? No, let's provide details, send a picture, and, you know, be patient on the turnaround times, because I'm sure you guys are dealing with just so many moving parts. I did it again with my puns, but it's okay. Anyway, carry on, Alex. I cracked myself up. Sorry.
No, yeah, no, I was like I say, I was just making the point that you want to do a little bit of research, and be careful when you're purchasing a bike used. It's often a very positive experience, but it can be a frustrating one. And my recommendation would be, you know, consider buying something that is not necessarily new and shiny in favor of sometimes things that are a little bit older, you get a bit more value. A lot of bikes that you buy that are, you know, have all of the latest technology on them used. If you know, assuming you're just looking for basic transportation, those kind of things can become liabilities, and they can be a little bit harder to fix. Consider that. But yeah, like you said, if you want to send us an email with good information and hopefully a photograph, we will give you our opinion as to anything bike related.
That is awesome. Alex, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to do a little regroup at the end. I'm going to welcome our next guest, but thank you for all that you're doing for the cycling community. Thank you for all that you're doing to make bikes accessible to every citizen. And hopefully we can see more of an uptick on the infrastructure that we're also invested in. And folks, remember that biking is something. Sorry, I should check. Is it biking or cycling? Is there a proper way of saying it? Can I say biking? Does biking a motorbike?
Why don't we say bicycling? But yes, either's fine. Yeah.
Bicycling is a year-round activity. We are a winter city. I will definitely be seeing you on whenever you guys open up again for the. I want to put winter studs on my bicycle. So that's awesome that there's, you know, that there's a place that can basically educate people on how to maintain their own bike, the mechanics of it. And remember, right now, just to honor social distancing and health protocol. Alex and his team are doing the repairs. Instead of showing you how to do it, they'll just do the repairs. This is a not-for-profit. We want to definitely support them. So any bicycle enthusiasts, please take note that this is a locally run organization that has proven just how valuable they are with being around for over 40 years. So, hats off to you, or cycle helmet off to you. And we'll see you on the trails or bike lanes or wherever it may be. And or maybe I'll pop in with a bicycle, that I score on Kijiji. But anyway, thank you for your time, Alex. That's bikeedmonton.ca, everybody. And if you have any questions, include details, a picture if possible. That's info@bikeedmonton.ca. Remember, this is a not-for-profit, so be patient on the response times. But definitely all Edmontonians should know that we have this resource to help the cycling community and kind of bring people together like spokes on a wheel. Oh my gosh, that was beautiful, if I say so myself. Okay, Alex, sorry. I'm getting so excited about bicycles, but this is why we love the show. It's a great way to provide exposure to maybe not so well-known organizations. So I think it's awesome. You guys have been doing this for 40 years. Keep up the good work, and we'll see you in a few minutes when we're wrapping up the show. Thank you again, Alex.
Oh, you're very welcome. Talk to you in a minute.
Thank you. Our
Bye-bye.
next guest, see you, Alex, or in a few minutes. Our next guest, give me a second here while I'm controlling everything. 1 second. What? Here we go. Pardon me, Alex. One moment. And our next guest, folks, is Cristo Crudo. And Cristo is the owner of a very, very well-known restaurant in the Edmonton community. I've had the pleasure of dining there myself. Cristo,
Hi.
you're not going to make me do this the whole show, are you? No.
Should I turn it the other way?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that looks great. Cristo.
Excellent. How are you?
Cafe Amore. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm going to be salivating now just thinking about your delicioso pasta. I love it.
We're back at it again. That's for sure.
Excellent. Excellent to hear. And I mean, we just spoke with one of our guests today was, we were talking about a directory that was built to support restaurateurs. You guys have been so hard hit. Tell us a little bit. First of all, for those who somehow, I can't believe it, but for anyone that doesn't know about Cafe Amore, can you tell them a little bit about your restaurant? And then maybe we'll go into how you've had to adjust, pivot your challenges. Yeah. We'll get into the ugly. Okay, go Absolutely. On. Tell us.
Well, for starters, I'm glad you're staying healthy as well, too. So I just officially took off my mask as of a couple of days ago, but I'm not interacting with anybody in the office over here. So that's a good thing, I guess, Yeah, Cafe Amore is a family-run business. We started many years ago. We started in the mid '80s. With my father having a restaurant here in Edmonton, and then us moving to the Okanagan, having 2 restaurants in Penticton, and then moving back over here because Mom obviously had cancer. She had passed away in 2005, so we moved back to our hometown here in Edmonton, and we decided to open up a little restaurant in the north side in Delton. In 2011, we then proceeded to buy our own building in 2013 on 106th Avenue and 108th Street, and then we've been there ever since. And from that time, 2013 till now, we've also have the Black Pearl Seafood Bar, which is our restaurant on 104th Street.
And is yours as well?
Yeah, that's ours.
Oh my goodness, that is definitely one of my top 3 in the city. I have eaten you out of oysters. Guilty.
Yeah, well, yeah, we and you know what? It was funny right now is that we've just opened up and we have oysters for $1 from 5 to 7, from Tuesday to Sunday, because we're closed on Mondays. But from Tuesday to Sunday, we're having $1 oysters from 5 to 7 o'clock. And so we have the Black Pearl and then Amore Pasta locations, right? So Amore Pasta 101, Amore Pasta 23rd in Southside. And now we're looking at because of the COVID hit, we've obviously had to put a lot of things on halt. But it looks like we have another location going to be coming up in the autumn time, which we would love to have it before the summer. But it looks like it's going to be the autumn and it's going to be on the north end. location to be announced, obviously. But yeah, so with all those set in mind, I mean, we've been hit extremely hard, and it hasn't been easy. We've had almost about 89 employees altogether, where we've had to lay off almost close to 78. And just like that, when March 19th was announced, March 21st came around, and we had to lay them off. I mean, there was nothing we can do. The federal government obviously, had the restrictions in place for everybody, and that's worldwide, obviously. But so yeah, we didn't know what we were going to do. We didn't know, how long this was going to last for, and things like that. So now it's starting to get to a point where, it's not back to normal, even though, some people say, oh, it's going to get back to normal, but it's going to take a long time, because a lot of people, not including myself as a business owner and restaurateur, but people who lost their jobs in many sectors, whether it be the energy sector, whether it be the hospitality sector, whether it be the, even some government jobs have been lost. And so those people, they've had to endure financial not just health, but financial overcome, which is going to take a long time before everything gets back to normal, right? So, and the restaurant is usually the one that's the ground roots, I think, to our economy, because it's almost like you hear all the firsthand information from every customer that comes in, from all facets of business, all facets of race, creed, and color, and just everything. So you hear from the ground roots, right? So, yeah, so we're not back to 100%, obviously, as you know. Stage 2 just opened up yesterday, I believe, or today. But it's been hard, and with that, there's a lot of things that had to be paid. Suppliers, city, government, outstanding invoices. I mean, things have to be taken care of. So what do you do then? All you can do is you have to rely on the relationships that we've built over the years with suppliers, with people that you're doing business with, that we've had a great relationship with, that we've always been prompt with everything, and you just have to rely on the fact of working together as Edmontonians, Albertans, human beings, and say, listen, everybody's in the same boat. We're going to have to wait and see what the federal government proposes in order for things to get taken care of, whether it be through CURB, whether it be through the business loan that they've given out. But still, there's more costs than that. That's not just free money, right? So, yeah, so it's been tough. It's been tough.
Wow, Cristo, I'm taking it all in. I mean, it's one thing to hear about the challenges that a business owner has, but then putting it through kind of the realization that you've got multiple locations, 80 some staff, all those tough conversations, like it's what everyone was experiencing, and then almost exponential, because you've got all these moving parts, all these people. And I think what really was the most heart hitting was when you said it's about relationships, because truly I think that everyone that has made it this far, if we look back, yes, that's what it's been. It's been people and those relationships, helping each other, whether it's sharing resources or, when it comes to vendors or AR, AP, it's all those tough conversations, and it may be numbers on a spreadsheet to some people, but to most, it's conversations, it's people dealing with people, and just realizing they have to help each other.
That's right. Exactly. 100%. And not just that. I mean, you nailed it right on the head. It is the relationships, but more so that you feel for all the people that you've employed. Because for me, they're like all family. There's 89 employees that I had, and 79 were laid off, 78, 79. And to me, they're all family members. So it's a trickle effect, because if they're not making money, then, they got to take care of their family. Yeah, for sure. They get their CURB, they get their $2,000 a month, just like everybody else does and stuff. But that only goes so far. There are people, they have, there's some people that have, children or, a spouse that needs medication that goes over and above that. There's things that they have to take care of in their household, and there's bills that they have to take care of because maybe they're not getting the support that they need from their financial institutions, or they're not getting the support that they need from their landlords, or they're not getting the support they need from people that they owe money to. So it's a triple effect. So that 78, 79 people, turns into like almost 2,000-3,000 people that they're affiliated with, because it's a trickle effect. And so that's just my world of the Cafe Amore, the Amore Group business. But I mean, everybody's been affected, and the only thing we can learn from this is, well, not learn, but the only thing we can do is basically pivot. It becomes survival mechanism. So you think that with retailers and restaurants, we're already doing what we can in order to give good deals, in order to give people the option of going through Skip or Uber or DoorDash, where they still take about 25 to 30% of your sales anyways. So within margins already, you're not making anything. If anything, you're just, it's what I call gratification income, because that gratification income only takes care of you that day, because you know that you're making that money off Skip or off Uber in order to generate revenue into your business to take care of outstandings. But in the same token too, you're losing money because your food costs are so thin. So in the meantime, you've given over and above. If your food cost is, let's say, for instance, $5 on an item, and you're selling that item, let's say at $10, it's 50% food cost. But I'm just using that as an example. Mm-hmm. So $50 for food cost exactly to prepare it, right? $10 you're selling it for. You sell it to Skip, DoorDash, Uber, they take 25-30%. So let's just say $3. So that's $7 on your $5. Simple mathematics. It's only $2 profit. But that $2 profit has to be split so many ways. It's got to be split into salary. It's got to be split into utilities. It's got to be split into mortgage, rent, wages, outstandings, government. I mean, there's so many things. So that $2 can only get you so much. And what it does is, myself as a business owner, I mean, I have a child, I have a wife, my brother who's a partner has his wife, has his child. And, this is a family run business. It's a family run organization. So then, the ones we take care of everybody, but then we don't take care of ourselves. So, and we can't get certain things from the government, with CURB or whatever, because we own businesses. So there's so many rules that are with that. So in the essence, we take the biggest hit, the owners, but that's, a lot of people can just conjure that up to being, well, that's what it's like being a business owner. You take the risk, you're an entrepreneur. That's what it's like. Well, I understand, but nobody predicted COVID, right? Nobody's been through it unless you lived over 100 years. But so you put yourself on a survival mode. So you say to yourself, what can you do during this time period that we can start generating and providing our good quality product and resources to people out there during this time of hardship in order to survive? Because you don't know if you're going to close the doors or not. So, we pivoted our businesses. We Cafe Amore decided with Amore Pasta that we were going to do delivery boxes, where in a time of this where people were in such isolation, people can actually order delivery packages or delivery boxes. We like to call it Amore Care packages, where they could buy pasta, they can buy sauce, they can buy wine, they can buy take and bake items. We provide cooking instructions inside, and somebody would order it for another person. So let's say for you, like yourself, Mom, Dad, I wish I could be there during this time of COVID. Love you very much. Here you go. And we personally deliver it to anybody in Edmonton. So that's what's basically been making us survive for our model. It's been making us survive up to this point, is those delivery packages, because we were getting zero revenue, whether it be through Skip, revenue, DoorDash, and Uber. Yeah, that's what Cafe Amore did in curbside, but there was no dining. So we relied on the delivery packages. Black Pearl Seafood Bar, it's all fresh seafood. So I'm not doing to-goes or putting that on Skip or DoorDash or Uber for the fact that, obviously we got to carry that fresh seafood, and it only has so much of a shelf life as well too. So Black Pearl was completely closed for 2.5 months. So there was zero revenue. Our Amore pasta locations took a big hit for sure. And if anybody says differently, that their businesses were thriving in the hospitality, I like to see their model. But, those took an 80 to 90% hit. So where were you going to get this? It was these delivery packages, and these delivery packages really helped out. And because of the fact that we had to go to survival mode, it allowed us during this time to open up a couple of more branches on the olive tree, I like to say. So we have delivery at Cafe Amore, where we never had delivery, where we'll personally deliver it. You just schedule a delivery time. So we opened up a delivery system with Cafe Amore. The care packages, which we never did prior to this COVID, is going to be part of our olive branch, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And we also, every 2 weeks, I'm going to different neighborhoods with my Amore Express vehicle, my Amore Express truck, and having all the fresh goods there, setting up a tent, setting up our banners, setting up a table, and people from the residential can just step outside of their home, come to where we are, and buy their fresh ingredients to bring home. So that's also set up another branch to our olive tree.
Okay, pause.
Go ahead.
Pause. Where do we find the schedule of what neighborhoods you're going to be in and where? Like that is amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, as you know. But if you go to www.amorepasta.ca, you can most likely see when we're going to be there. I tell the people usually about 2 weeks before, a week before, where I'm going to be in the neighborhood, because what I do is I put it out there through my social media, and I ask people, where would you like me to be with me at the Amore Express truck, and to what neighborhood? And so I get inundated with tons of people saying, oh, please come to Beaumont, please come to Morinville, please come to Lewis Estates, please come to Oxford, please come to St. Albert, please come to Sherwood Park, please come to Castle Downs, please come to Glenora. Like, there's so many. So what I do is we only have one Amore Express truck, and now we've basically have a second truck. We've hired more people back, so I'm creating more employment back into my business, but also creating employment. And so I take sort of a guesstimate as far as how many people are really saying, come into this neighborhood, and usually I'll go there. So we did St. Albert already twice. We did it in Northridge and Erin Ridge. We did Sherwood Park. Our next one that we're going to be is probably going to be on the west side, which will be announced, of Edmonton, southwest. And I will probably do Sherwood Park just because of how the response has been so good from both St. Albert and Sherwood Park. It's just that we did St. Albert twice, Sherwood Park once. So I'd like to do Sherwood Park as well. So that's where we're at with that. So they can see that on our website, our Facebook. We post every day, and people can still get delivery packs delivered to their home or to a loved one if they want, and do it that way too. So
I absolutely love that, and I want to say well done. It sounds like you've successfully, as of today, run that COVID gauntlet. I think it's been the most daunting for, restaurant owners. And as I said before, someone with multiple locations, multiple brands, I can't even imagine. I can and I can't. So here's the thing, Cristo, I'm a business owner too. I have, 5-6 team members. I think of the stress that I endure, and then I put it, you're telling me you have 80 some employees, and just, wow, like what you have gone through and overcome, and are still making the time to show up on this show. You're not getting paid to be here. You have all these moving parts, the new Amore pasta truck, which I love that idea. For anyone watching, please check out his Instagram and find out when and where he's going to be with that truck. For anyone who has a loved one, get a care package of someone. Food is the best way to say you love someone, at least for me. But I love that idea, and I love that you've come up with these innovative ways to generate revenue, to take care of your family, to see through some of the ugliest times that I can remember. Obviously, I'm really young, so I don't have that much of a.
You are. I guess we all are, because the last one that happened was 100 years ago. So
right?
we
who
all.
Knows? But
I mean,
they just, well done, sir. Well done. I mean,
no, thank, and you know, it's a group effort. It takes a team in order to get where we are. But more so than just the advertising and me plugging away at my social media, me plugging away at everything that we're doing as far as our all love branches. Obviously, what I'm doing and what it sounds like too is that I'm trying to gain traction in marketing as well too. And that's just me. That's just who I am as a restaurateur from very young and as an entrepreneur. Is it's exposure, right? But more so than that is that besides the marketing, besides the restaurateur, besides the entrepreneurship, besides the fact that pivoting and stuff like that and surviving and getting through the COVID and is I think the most important is that there's no consistency right now. Even though with 50% capacity opened up, even with these branches, these olive branches that I like to say that I have opened up these, and pivoted the model of our business. But there's no consistency. There's no consistency where I, as a business owner or as a person who's in business, I mean, you can rely, how many patrons you're going to be getting a day, or you can rely on what kind of income you're going to get a day, or you can rely on how much food you'd be ordering for your place in order to take care of patrons, or how much alcohol or whatever. But there's no consistency because of the fact that we're just all getting through it. And because of that, nobody's consistent, not from the liquor stores that I open, not from the suppliers that I order. So they're not consistent. So how are we going to get back to that consistency level? I don't know. It's going to take some time, but
time will tell. Whoa, we lost your video there.
I'm sorry.
No worries. You know what? I just noticed we've gone over time, which I feel like I could probably sit here and listen to you. No, don't apologize. No, please don't apologize. I like I said, I could listen to you all afternoon because
No,
to me, you know what? What we're trying to highlight here, and I'm very proud because I think we're doing it successfully, is showcasing the innovation, showcasing the pivots, but it's about tenacity. We're talking about business owners that are, either experienced and have been around for a while, and this is the first time they've ever seen it. We're seeing people that are starting businesses, not knowing a thing about it, and they're failing forward. And these are the stories that, need to be told. It's not all pretty. It's a lot of stress. But, it's the fact that you can, at the end of it all, you are in control of making sure your family's looked after. And it sounds like you are doing a hell of a job being innovative and coming up with, just different ways to generate revenue in a time where, like I said, I think restaurants have suffered.
But it needs, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but with YEG Pivots, obviously it's a great platform because what it does is that the more people that tune in and the more people that get to know about this kind of dialogue is that we're all in it together. So if you didn't have this platform, then people wouldn't know the trials and the tribulations or what it takes to get, in their business, how to overcome their anxiety or their fears or whatever the case may be.
And know that it's normal, right?
Yeah, you're bringing this platform to the forefront, which I think it's gonna explode for you and for the company and for all this. But I think it's a good thing because it's a dialogue that needs to be had, and you're gonna find that. I think this is the first platform that I've been on where it's explosive. Yeah, you can go on CTV or Global and I'll have tidbits, and then you go to the news, and then you go to the weather, and then you go to the. But this is about your Edmontonians in your neighborhood facing the same things and how we can work together in order to go through this. So without your platform, then I thank you very much for having it, because if there's other people out there that maybe had some questions that are in the hospitality industry or whatever, well, maybe I shed a little bit, maybe I'm helping out their anxiety, during this time. And the same thing for me. I listened to your last year there, about the bikes and he was talking about, not everybody needs to be, have mechanical skills in order to fix a bike. He'll go through the process with you and that's what we're doing here. So if you're feeling a certain way in business or whatever the case would be, whether you're a restaurateur or not, this is a platform to say we're here and we're guiding you through. Hopefully, you take up whatever little tidbits you can, salt and pepper, so to speak, and you get the good out of it, because in our time, in our life right now, everybody needs some kind of positivity, and we just need dialogue in order to get there. That's it.
Yes. Candid, from the heart, real. I love it. on that note, I'm going to bring back our other two guests and we can shoot the shift.
Oh.
Oh man, I'm having a funny day, I tell you.
No pun intended.
I love it. It's okay. And so we've got Alex with Bike Edmonton, Cristo, Crudo with Amore. Look.
Yeah, Cafe Amore, Amore Bistro, Black Pearl, the Amore Group, the Amore Group. Yeah,
Amore Group. Okay, and Vinson, I don't know if he's going to come back. I wanted Vinson to connect with Cristo, and before we do our little roundup here, I just have to, Cristo, I just thought this was funny, but it's even more funny because I eat raw oysters at Black Pearl. But crudo in Spanish means raw.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm sorry. I was just like super
actually, it means crudo in Italian means raw, and crudo actually in Spanish, according to when I went to Mexico, means hangover. So I must have some ancestor over there who ate raw oysters and had a little bit of wine and got a hangover in the meantime. So, but yeah, in Italian it means raw, and in Spanish actually means hangover, crudo.
Oh, that's funny. That might be a Mexican thing though, because I don't know.
Yeah, maybe the dialects are different.
Dialects are different. Yeah. But I mean, hey, I'll ask my Mexican friends, Colombian ones. But Vinson, and I don't know who's seeing what square, so don't mind me if my fingers don't align. I would make a terrible weather person. But Vinson's got a great directory for restaurants to participate in. So if you haven't connected, I want you two to connect.
We actually connected a long time ago.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And then everyone should just go see Alex and get your bike working, and then bike over and pick up some stuff from Amore Group. And you know, it's beautiful weather. Still, because you know it changes in like 5 minutes. So I was just making sure it wasn't raining. But you guys, thank you so much. Any last words for our viewers? I'm just gonna. While you guys chat, I'm going to see if we have any questions for any of you, but anything to share before I turn off the video?
I just think keep up this platform. That's all. You're doing a great job, and it's inspiring a lot of viewers. So thank
you very much. Thank you, Cristo.
You're welcome.
And Alex, any compliments? Not just kidding.
Thanks for inviting me onto this platform. It's amazing, like Cristo said, but yeah, I hope it really expands and it helps Edmontonians a lot too.
I hope so too. I really think this is, I'm having so much fun, you guys, because every week I'm learning about groups and businesses and people that I had no idea existed, much less in our little chunk of the city. So I think it's just great. And I really appreciate you guys making the time to come on the show. We like to do a little screenshot group picture. So on the count of 3, I'll get you all to give me your best grin. 1, 2, 3. And thank you. Okay, folks, thanks for tuning in. This has been YEG Pivots for June 11th, episode 6. We'll see you next week, Thursday, 2:30, same place, same time. Stay safe and shop local. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.